And we are live with our latest Let's Read. I welcome all for joining in today. As always, we're kind of doing these as fan requested, or we're going to do originals. Today we're doing another original. We are returning to our Mobster X Maid Girl storyline. First, I want to thank for someone for doing the amazing artwork behind me. That is for Demon Blade. We had that as part of a Secret Santa this year. This was the amazing result of the artwork, and I absolutely adore it. And it's going to be the background for a little while for the Storytime stream until we come up with something else. But today we're going to do our Mobster X Maid Girl story through. And if you tuned in last time, well, we had a fight between the siblings, and it resulted in the end with Azulle being taken in by the queen. So today we're going to get on with that story. You will be able to see the story above as I read through. So we're going to make sure that that's open for you all. I believe it is capture window 2. Yep, okay. So you all can see the chapter title is Under Snake's Skin for chapter 9. Take the girl to the activities room, the queen demands the guards to do. The words caused the color to escape the faces of the prisoners and Lady Merrill. But Azulle herself was puzzled. While she had cleaned many rooms about the castle, the rooms of the queen were restricted to be handled by only Merrill. Chills run down her spine as the guards themselves begin to shake and tremble. "No, we follow the queen's orders. But it's only just a child," one asked one guard. "Trust me, this child is nothing to sneeze at," proclaims the familiar voice of the guard Jensen. "But I'm not too keen on this punishment either." Azulle tries to come up with her words, but finds it hard to speak as the guards bring her to the room that is likely once a fine bedroom, but is now proudly displayed many numbers of torture devices, and a mere look down showed, while the room was kept clean, the wooden floors were forever stained with the remains of those the queen played with. And now it was Azulle's turn. She gulped as the door closed, and it wasn't too long after her screams would cry out to echo the halls to ears that turn away to maintain peace within the castle walls. Elsewhere, plates get smashed by Brookins. "How can we just let the queen take the girl? We all know what she will do." "Do you wish death, old man?" "I want to help the girl too, but there are countless guards and even some spellcasters guarding the queen. What would you have us do? Lead a raid on the palace? The best we can do is hope the girl comes out, be able to stand on her own legs." Grell complains. "Oh, look at the mess you made, Brookins." "Oh, look at the mess you made, Brookins. Don't you get hot under the collar and destroy my little tea set up for you all now," Captain Jenny states, quickly picking up the mess. "I'm sorry, Captain, but there has to be something we can do." I'm with Brookins. I don't want my sweet, lovely Azulle to have one scar on from that nasty queen." "You got even half a plan?" The two look down as Vindel rests her head in her arms. "Look, I agree. It ain't what the queen is doing to her. I ain't right what the queen is doing to her. But most of us prisoners, or have you forgotten? If you got out of this castle causing a ruckus, then what can you expect from the comforts of this jail? Will be replaced with sharp, cold steel of an executioner's axe. Face it, while the king may be able to keep the girl alive, the queen won't likely let that girl be anything more than a slave to her violent needs." Grell grits his teeth and slams his fist. Hmm, maybe, but I think there might be a way to save Zell yet, states Kawa, hanging from the ceiling with a giant spider suit on. Another kid? Kawa, I don't think you were on my prisoners list. Nah, Captain. I just came to check out the guys that Zell said she was training with. That and to come guide someone else here as his guard. Kawa slides down the rope and points to the doorway where Gil is hiding behind the corner. Prince Gil, you came here? I heard from Kawa that my sister trained here for a few days. What of it, you royal parasite? Brookins shouts. The kid probably just wants to train as well. Makes sense, at least after the butt-kicking the girl gave him. But sorry, Your Highness, I have no interest in training you, Vindel states, rolling to hide her face from the group and try and get extra hours of sleep. Yes, my last trainer, well, his way of swordsmanship is good and all, but in a real fight, all that flashing dancing about is precisely worthless. That is what you were going to say, Your Highness. Yes, Gil holds his head in shame. I try his way, but when I fought against those slimes, and then with Azulle, I found my attacks weren't enough. Well then, Grell, you should teach the prince, Vindel grumbles. You are a trained warrior, after all. Sir Grell? Bah! Damn it. As a hired hand of the family, I guess I can't deny your request. But I'll only do it if you find a way to help that girl. Now I feel left out with no sweet little kids to play with me. Claire looks as Kawa, who gets nervous at her stare. Why do I get the feeling me taking you on as a teacher would lead to bad things? Stay back, you pervert. I will teach. What are you? Brookins pushes Claire away to her disappointment. Kawa is Kawa. That is all I am. Yes, indeed. Well, that clears things up, I guess. Tundle laughs. Aw, but I wanted someone cute to play with, Claire pouts. The scene changes to the night at the castle. A shadow moves about down the hall, followed by another. Following them is Gil, with an irritated look on his face. Seriously, you two don't need to be sneaking about. I am royalty. I can go anywhere I want in this castle. Kawa and Brookins come down from the ceiling, where they were using magic to keep them hidden. I'm sorry, my prince. I'm sorry, my prince. Gil, but it must be that any ninja be unseen, replies Kawa, dressed in flashy orange outfit, while Brookins is in his sundress. Sure, you two can handle looking like that, morons. To master stealth, one must be able to hide wearing even the brightest of colors, Brookins states. Besides, this outfit is so comfortable. Gil makes his way around the corner of the hallway, only to come face to face with two guards. Excuse me, I'm going in. Gil is suddenly halted by the guards, pulling their weapons to block his forward movement. Guards, what is the meaning of this? I am your prince. I wish to go into my mother's crafts room. No one is allowed in the Queen's crafts room. Her Majesty's orders, one of the guards doubtfully declares. This is a matter of my future. I need to regain Azulle as she is my maid, and I need her to do her duties. So please part ways. One of the guards punches Gil in the gut, sending the young boy crashing to the ground. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but the guard is halted with a shrill scream, lets out from down the hall, and then behind the guards quickly, Brookins and Kawa drop down with ropes in hand, and in one swift action, the two knock out the guards. Still think our outfits Won't allow us to hide, young prince. Brooken laughs, but quickly stops as his back gives out and he is bent backwards in an odd position. I'm getting too old for this mess. You two move along. I will bind these two and make my way back to my cell. Gil and Kawa push forward towards the room where the scream appears to have come from. They rush to the door, throwing it open, and there in the dark, the queen stands in a strange erotic set of armor, with Azulle bound in steel corset, and strange shoes with iron spikes on the inside of the heel, forcing the wearer to walk, balancing on their toes, lest they spear their heel. The opening of the door causes the queen to halt from continuing to whip Azulle, whose face is dripping in blood, snot, and tears. Azulle recalls back to her years as Hideo Ito, and with it figures the old let me try it. Did I miss something here? And with it figures the old her could easily learn a thing or two from the sadistic actions of the torturer that the queen enacted on her merely in a few hours. Guilford, what are you doing here? I have direct orders that no one was allowed in while I work on my correcting my past mistakes. The queen holds Azulle's head up by the hair, and despite the pain Azulle forces out a devilish grin. The only past mistakes here are how you are allowed to have any power, Azulle wheezes out, only to be met with a hard punch to her face. Mom, stop this! Are you defying me as well, Guilford? Kawa starts to pull Gil's arm to move him back as the queen starts to move to the two. Fear hitting Kawa causes his grip to send tremors into Gil's arm. Mom, Azulle is my servant. I will punish her. You don't have to do this. Oh, but I do, my little hero. The words cause shudder of cold down Gil's spine. Something was off about his mother. Never had he seen her like this. The queen's face seemed twisted, and her movements were the looks of a mad woman. I need this girl to learn her lesson and to bend to my will. If she doesn't, then you can't be a great hero. She will take from you your glory. She will take from us this kingdom. The two start to back away as a rattle is heard, but the queen keeps following the two. But a sudden swing of Azulle hits the queen deep in the back, hard enough that the spikes on her twisted foot gear dig into her heels. The queen turns and sees the girl still smiling as blood drips out from her teeth. She continues to swing from her bindings. Still getting in my way. The queen reaches to nearby brazen, where an iron is placed. Grabbing the burning iron, she thrusts it towards Azulle and catches her right in the arm. The smell of burning flesh causes the weakened stomach of Gil and Kawa to get sick, while Azulle cries out in pain. See, Gil, this child needs to be broken, or she will break what we have, what I have made here. And what is it that you have made here, Mother? Gil asks, trying to recover from his nausea. What kind of kingdom do we have that people we rule over hate us? That we torture our servants to do our bidding? How can you expect a hero to rule over a kingdom of slaves? You know nothing of slaves. The queen grips the hot iron tight. She walks towards Gil and Kawa. To be hunted down by them. Killed for what little you gain in life, or imprisoned in cages to be used and humiliated by them. The scum of this world is strong in this kingdom. And when I came here, I expected I could destroy it from within. But then I found one so darling to stand before me, unflinching in fear or rage. Who's she talking about, Gil? Heck if I know. That damn woman. How dare she get in my way? This kingdom was mine. It was to be yours, my child. But the witch of a doctor and her even worse dastard destined brat of hers keep getting in my way. The queen is right on the two, so close that they could feel the heat coming off the iron, starting to redden their exposed skin. But the queen suddenly turns back when a crash is made from behind her, as Azulle had suddenly successfully snapped her bindings off the perch, sending her to the ground and stabbing her heels again, to the point the blood burst out of the shoes. But she still stood, shaking in pain, but still bearing her smile. Why are you still smiling? Break already! The queen goes to swing at Azulle, but Gil, in act of bravery, dives into his mother's arms and is deeply burned across his chest. He lets out a cry of pain, but cannot hold the queen's attack back. Azulle stands in shock for a second time. The one she was so sure to be planted here, her false brother, was protecting her. But she knew that this would be short-lived and quickly bent over, taking a stance over her devil's rush. With blood oozing out from every step, the world seemed to slow, and her vision turned red as she burst forth, smacking into the queen, catching her by her bound hands across the queen's neck. The world slowly became normal for Azulle, though the color remained. She could see the queen's neck was now twisted. She thought, as she began to crash from the blood loss, that she must have surely killed the queen, and would likely be imprisoned, if not executed, for the actions of regicide. But as her vision began to fade, she saw the queen's neck twist more and grow long, along with its scales appearing to replace the queen's skin. A monster. The queen was a monster. Azulle had no energy left to keep fighting, but the revelation of the queen's heritage shocked both Kawa and Gil. The two panicked to take a step back, only to push into three figures standing in the doorway. Wretched human girl! See, my dear Guilford, see how they look at us when we appear unlike them. We work so hard to be like them, to play their games of love and peace. Yet the moment they see us as we are, they fear us. Mom, no, you can't be my mother. Step back, young master. The beast isn't your mother. Monster, what have you done with our queen? Shouts at the guards, accompanied by two others that Gil can now see are the king and Lady Merrill. Giselle, what have you done with my Giselle, monster? The king cries out. Nothing, you fool of a king. I am your beloved queen, your Giselle. No, you can't be my mom or the queen. You doubt me too, Guilford. Despite the anger, the pain hits the monster's eyes. You humans defile this world with your ways. Merrill starts to move towards Azulle to try and heal her, but the queen's body shifts again, forming a long snake-like tail and whipping Merrill into the wall. My lord's plans may be exposed now. But I won't let the girl get the better of me. The queen rushes, grabbing Azulle's broken body, making her way to a stained glass window. The guard strikes out at the queen, gashing her arm, but she knocks his sword away. "What is this thing?" shouts the guard, running to get his sword. "It has my daughter. Don't let it escape with her." Gil sits there in shock, unable to move. Kawa is scared but is rushing to help Meryl up. "No, Kawa. I will be fine. We need to get to Azulle, though first, quickly." Meanwhile, the snake-like form of the queen moves about, dragging Azulle's body on the rooftop. "You and your mother just had to get in my way. I would have been done by now if you didn't stand to turn my dear Guilford from me. Why? What makes you so special? Guilford is the hero, not you. You are just a worthless maid girl. I was going to raise the hero of my blood and have him be willing to fight for my lord. But you somehow got in the way. My Gil was to be born during the blood moon, not you. I even made sure that Gil was given the hero tablet, denying you of all that right. But still, you beat him. How are you stronger than my false hero?" The queen holds the barely conscious Azulle above the edge of the roof. Below her is the cliff overlooking the roaring sea and rocks. "I will beat the demon lord. I have to." "Why must you get in my way?" Azulle, shuddering in pain, to let out a faint grin. "Have it your way, girl. I will not die this day, but one day I will return and take what is rightfully mine. But you won't be here to stop me then." The queen lets go of Azulle, and she begins to drop. A scream is let out from behind the queen, where the guard and king have started to follow the two. The queen lets out a laugh as wings burst out of her back, and she drops along with Azulle. But on her descent, she doesn't see the girl. Did she drop that quickly? None the less, the queen spreads her wings and glides off into the night, laughing that one major obstacle in her quest was out of her way for good. The maid girl was dead, and soon she could amass an army to reclaim the throne and her son. She laughed as the king fell onto his knees, sobbing at what was surely the loss of his daughter and his wife. Kawa and Meryl stepped out to help the guard, bidding the king in to join his heartbroken son. The queen's reign was gone, and now so too was Azulle and her devilish grin. The crazy, boyish maid girl was no more. That was the common thought. But when a strange old man in a frilly sundress pulled a young, badly beaten girl up from the wall, the sorrowful group's eyes changed. "I think that rotten old snake dropped this," Brookins declared. "Perhaps you all know what to do with her." "Guard, quickly take her to her mother. Meryl, you needn't worry, my king. I will accompany the girl," Meryl replies to the king. "Master, that was awesome," Kawa states in an awe of Brookins' actions. "Well, it's what good stealth and skill get you. Now, it's due time for me to get back to my cell." "Surely, sir, you will stay and let me reward you." "My reward will be to kill you, my king." "What? Why save my daughter, then threaten my life?" "Well, it's my duty to kill you. But perhaps tonight, let's just say, I did it for the girl, for exposing the real problem of this kingdom. And we can work on that whole oath of regicide I have in the morning, after I get some tea and cakes in me. Brookins bows and drops off the building, disappearing into the night. So cool, Kawa retorts, and the king chuckles. Yes, my dear Kawa, I guess he is kind of cool. The king turns to Gil, still shuddering in fear. It's okay, Gil. You did well protecting your sister. Don't you believe those lies that you are a hero, lies of that creature. You are a hero, through and through. Let's get you to see the doctor, too, about that injury, okay? Gil started to cry. Dad, am I not human? Was that thing my mother? No, son. You are what you want to be in this world, be it hero, human, or monster. You are and will always be Guilford, my son. Don't worry, we'll find your mother eventually. I will see to it. But for now, I'm just glad that you and Azulle are safe with me. The king leads the young prince and his substitute servant out of the destroyed room. As the time fades and morning hits, Azulle's eyes wakening her once more, again, in her mother's bed, with Francoise laying on her. Yoko? 5 more minutes. Well, I told you not to go out and get yourself hurt, did I not? Now look at you. I'm all sort of glad you're in this shape, because there will be no running out and having fights while your feet need to heal up more, proclaims Eris. Mom, you gave everyone a scare, me as well. I watched the noise from my window. When I saw that monster drop you, I was all but ready to kill myself, knowing I lost you, Azulle. Azulle's mother grabbed a hold of her daughter and hugged her with all her might. But the squeeze caused Azulle to have difficulty breathing. It was then that she noticed, despite all the bandages, she was still wearing the iron corset that the queen had placed on her. I was able to remove the shoes, but given how much damage they did, I imagine you will find it better to wear heels than normal shoes for a while. As for this, unfortunately, I can't break whatever curse is on it. It's not locked like a normal corset, but I would gather the spell need a skilled mage to deal with it. But it doesn't seem to harm you, and I can cast some spells I know to alter its size to better fit you, till we can find a way to get it off. Just my luck. As if I could get any girlier. Oh, come now, Azulle. You look so cute. Perhaps you should act more like a girl. Then I guess I'll just have to settle for having a daughter alive, even if she claims to be a man in another world. The days would pass, and Azulle would heal up, but adept at what the monster had done to her. The king was disheartened. There were no signs of the queen, but even more heartbroken at Gil's depression as of late. Still, Gil made good on his promise and let Azulle lead the group as the trio trained. He even helped Azulle form a bargain for the slimes to have an agreement to work out of the castle and help the staff in its duties. While Azulle kept her secret from the rest of the team, she grew a bond with her slime allies, talking and reminiscing about the days back in Earth. Even the prisoners of the castle were given new duties and jobs. All seemed peaceful in the castle, but then quick trips to town proved otherwise for Azulle. The town was in misery, and the respondents outside the kingdom showed that they were still far from peaceful beyond the borders. The demon lord and his army had barely even started a fight. And for one creature, the fight for the kingdom was still something yet to come. I will have what is mine, the queen slithers. You, gather as many monsters as you can. I need to have an army to visit my dear husband and make them all pay. Yes, Lord Envy. The queen laughs as the sunlight fades into a distant look of the kingdom on the horizon. So ends chapter 9. We're about to get into chapter 10. That actually ends the childhood arc. So that was the last chapter of young Azulle. We are going to be going into teens for the next 2 chapters that we're going to be reading today. So, going to that next, I think it's window 1. I'm going to close window 2. Yeah, okay. So let me get a little bit of my drink, and we'll get on to the story. I believe this chapter is called Adventure Forth. Let me double check. Wadham's Adventure Forth. Okay, no. Oh, okay, this is... What was the name of this chapter? I don't remember. We'll just pick it up on chapter 10. Years pass on the castle residence, and before anyone could tell, 10 years have passed, and in time the 3 adventurers each had trained in their skills and adapted to new ventures in their life. For one such adventurer, Kawa began the patrol around the city. While time may have passed, the mysterious ninja appears to have not changed at all. That is, until they leap off the building in a mask into a winged monster and takes off gliding across the cityscape. They think of how nice and warm the day is, already for that time of year. Kawa has had years to practice their skill of stealth, spying, and evasion, as well as adding to the already impressive disguise skills. Back a few months ago, when Kawa started doing daily patrols like this, they could cause panic around town of a possible monster attack. But now, should people actually see the fast stealth movements of the fellow or the few that do have the skill to spot Kawa, treat it as a normal event. Some even started to tune their watches to the clocks by the patrols. Part of the conditions of Kawa's actions is to look out for trouble across the kingdom, but today is different kind of trouble to be let on the lookout for, and it's not long till Kawa finds it, deep in the district of restaurants. One such place is swarmed with women trying to make their way inside. Sigh, I guess I should report this to the boss. It's clearly the place. But damn, even I didn't expect this kind of a crowd. I just don't understand why women go crazy all over for this. Kawa quickly leaps down, unmasking into a sexy young lady in a skimpy dress. Even as a sexy young thing myself, I don't understand. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, a young raven-haired lady is up to her ears in women, and very few following the orders of her boss. Hey, if you women are gonna be here, it's a 2-drink minimum. Like hell, screams back one woman. Just came in here to watch, another shouts. I can't drink, I'm underage, yet another adds. Seriously, normally we have any customers, but now this place is swamped. We still can't get paid. The young lady snipes. Excuse me, the young lady snipes, okay. Yo, Eve, worry about the bills in a bit. I have 4 tables that do orders. I have table 4 that needs orders going out. That's what I should say. Shouts the large man behind the counter. The crowd is too big, Sal. I can use my magic to maybe...
No, none of your magic. You nearly burned a hole into Mr. Bannister last week, lighting this candle from across the room.
I got it, trust me. I promise.
Eve begins to wave her hands. Spiraling winds. Suddenly the trays of food and drink fly upwards and blast the crowd, spilling their contents on them. Seriously, Eve. I'm taking that food out and cleaning bills all out of these people's out of your wages. That brings you to owing me 140 gold lev this month alone. Now get to work filling orders, girl.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
While the group of women are angry at the young mage/server, more of them are far more focused on the pretty young man, laughing at the table, at the mess, women swooning over the fire-red, orange-haired young man whose face is boyish, yet strong in appearance, and flashes a good smile. I should come here more often. It's quite entertaining, and the food is great too. So, ladies, let's have a little fun. I'm looking for someone special. Will any of you fill the bill for me? The flashy boy says.
Oh, me? I'll do anything for you. Didn't listen to her. I'm a better choice. Or don't listen to her. I'm a better choice, don't you think? I'm prettier. Please. With that horse face, obviously the one he needs is someone like me.
Man, I just don't get what these girls see in this guy, states Eve, filling several mugs with ale. His charm's not working on you, Eve? Figured you'd be one of them just like them, Sal retorts.
Can't afford to. Master's gone and left me with her debt in this town to work off. I can't afford to be distracted by flashy guys with clearly one or two spells placed on himself to charm women and seduce them. Still, don't you think the crowd is getting a little out of hand? Shouldn't the town guard take care of this soon?
I hear the guards ask for someone else to come and take care of this. Someone good at cleaning messes. But still, I wouldn't complain if any of our business stayed like this more often. Suddenly there's a loud crash, and the crowd begins to fly outside.
What's going on? Shouts someone. It's her, the devil maid. She's come. Damn royal's getting in the way.
Another crash and more people go flying.
Let me through, shouts from the crowd. I have business with that man. No way, she's here for him? I won't let the devil take him. Move, 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 shouts a blur bursting through the crowd and the building at the same time, forming a new back entrance to the building.
My restaurant,
Sal shouts at the blur. Oh, out of rubble pops the 16-year-old Azulle, now fully developed young woman with a slender build, dressed in a cross of maid uniform and leather outfit, with the exception of a solid metal corset. Guess I got carried away. Sorry about that.
Damn it, you're the menace of this whole kingdom. Devil maid Azulle Darkhold.
I'll fix it, I swear. Just after I take care of what I've come here to do.
Azulle turns and looks at the flashy man who smiles at her.
You can't have him. He's ours, devil girl. Yeah, you're a royal. Go find a prince or something. Leave this to us. Now, ladies. There's plenty to go around. And I must admit, the devil girl is quite a delicious dish. Like I could give a damn about some petty swordsman like you, or some pretty swordsman like you. I'm here because that perverted brother of mine keeps pestering me to fill our roster with skilled members. And I've been told by some big shots that he wants me to get you to join our party.
Ah, so the great hero of the world discovered my talents and wishes me to join his party. Very well. I'll join, as long as you agree to be my woman.
Look, you seem to have the whole thing wrong.
I said my brother wants you. But as it comes to the party, it's my call if you join. Well then, I guess it's formality then. Eh, my lovely maid girl? Yeah, 'cause now that I see you, I seriously doubt you'll work out. Hey, sir, do you have any tools? I'll get to work on fixing that mess. The crowd is in shock as Azulle just turns and ignores the flashy smile of the swordsman. Yeah, in the back. Let me. Don't you ignore me, maid girl. You may be royal, but you're nothing special.
Yeah, how dare you ignore him, you ugly maid? She's just as spoiled as the rest of them.
Listen, maid girl. You think you're hot stuff? Then fight me. And when I beat you, you'll have to go on a date with me.
Man, this guy just doesn't get it, does he?
Azulle rubs her head.
Fine. When I beat you, you'll pay the damages I have on the shop. And even if I don't beat you, if you at least get a hit on me, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll give you a chance to join the prince's crew.
Whoever your name is.
She doesn't even know his name? Seriously, she's so full of herself.
The swordsman laughs. You challenge a man and don't even know his name.
I challenged him? I thought he challenged me,
Azulle asked Eve.
He was the one to start it, yes. Though, Miss Devil, could I bother you to please not make any more of a mess? I'm already way in debt, and I need this job.
Eve pleads.
Don't worry. Like I said, I'll win, and this guy'll pay. Might as well add your debt to the place on that tab, huh?
Azulle smiles, and the swordsman smile and turns to rage. Excuse me. Hey, who said you could add someone else's debt to my tab? Even when you haven't fought me yet. The swordsman pulls out his sword and swings it, pointing at Azulle. Azulle picks up a broom from behind the counter.
Hey, owner guy, I'm borrowing this. I have a mess to clean up.
Yeah, okay, Sal responds. Azulle bends down and suddenly bursts into a flash, twisting the broom and blasting the swordsman through the crowd of women into the next building.
Wow. Figured he would at least try and dodge. How could anyone dodge that, you freak girl? Are you insane? Devil woman, how dare you hit his pretty face? My, you really are fitting in your reputation, aren't you?
Says the swordsman, getting up from the combination of passed out people and rubble. Swordsman steps up forward and starts to volley of sword strikes at Azulle, who dances about, dodging each strike. He then drops his blade downward to take a wide swing, but Azulle does a quick swing of her broom and smacks the pretty boy swordsman right in the face, sending him flipping down over her swing.
If you think you're even half as good as the rumors, then you would fight seriously, because against the Demon Lord's army, they won't be swayed by a pretty face and suave charm. It takes guts and willingness not to hold back. Please, as if that freak girl can even face a demon. Man, what a loser she is.
The swordsman stops his tumble and flips himself up, now with fury in his eyes, and swings at Azulle, but she blocks with a stick at the end of the broom.
There you go now. Now you're getting it. Hang of it.
I will beat you, girl, and when I do, I will date you, and you will learn the hard way not to piss me off. Azulle laughs and smiles her devilish grin, flipping the broom about in her arms, and continues to smack away at each sword strike from the swordsman. And with each blow, the man's fury builds in frustration.
Very well.
I have tried to go easy on you since you are a beautiful woman, but no more. I will use my sword skills on you. The swordsman runs his hand along his blade. Runes glow about it. Piercing heavens, the swordsman's hand moves at a rapid pace and swings change from the front of his body to above Azulle without him changing positions. The strikes do prove to be a challenge to Azulle, who dodges most of the strikes, but gets a few through, and small cuts appear on her uniform. Azulle grits her teeth and twirls the broom about, bouncing it off the blows from the attacks, and then, in a swift movement, goes in to swing downward, but her hands slip and the broom smacks down hard on the ground, breaking, the bristle end bouncing back up and smacking herself in the face. Looks like you're more than show than talk, than a skilled fighter, girl. The swordsman pulls the blade to his back. Too bad the fight ends here. Stunning blow, the man shouts, swinging the blade so hard that the mere wind gust blows some of the debris away with it. But the strike is halted by Azulle with a simple towel.
Yeah, you're right. It's over.
She smiles, and the swordsman carries a bit of shock as Azulle flings the sword away, but spins and crashes down face first, exposing her skirt, showing her butt to the opponent.
Damn this stupid curse!
All is quiet for a moment. Then a chuckle is heard from the swordsman.
Hey, it's not funny,
Azulle shouts at the guy. I'm sorry, my lady. You're right. It's over. So I yield. You have taken my weapon from me, and at least I got to see a blessing you hold. Azulle, embarrassed, getting on her feet.
Hey, I'm not done with you, pal.
Very well, then. Do you wish to date me?
No, you stupid pervert and jerk. Whatever. I guess since Gil requested, I add you, and you did land the cut on me, so I guess you can join. But don't you dare hit on me, and quit creating crowds of pervy, Blade.
I'm at your service, my lady. Oh, barkeep. The two look back at the rubble that was the restaurant, which now appears to have a wall or two missing. The swordman pulls out a small bag and places it on the counter. I hope this will cover the cost of repairs.
Maybe, I guess the place could have used
a redesign, Sal states with a sad sigh.
Oh, wait, Sal. I think I have a spell that can help.
Eve digs it through her bag and under the counter.
Let's see.
Azulle looks shocked.
Huh? The waitress is a maid? I thought all the mages of the kingdom worked at the castle.
Might as well go on ahead, Eve. Even your messed up talent can't do any more damage, I think.
Finding life wherever your roots grow.
Azulle pulls out her p-phone and takes a picture of Eve.
Let's see if she is a mage. Then p-phone should tell me her skill level. She might be a useful addition. Twist your brethren to my will and gather upon command. Overgrowth.
Suddenly the ground erupts, and all the wooden rubble begins to form roots and branches that quickly intertwine with each other, but the spell isn't stopping at that, just forming a wall. Soon the growth bursts about, overtaking other nearby buildings, and continues to grow. While the walls are formed about the restaurant and the other buildings, they uplift upwards along the road as a giant hollow tree is formed, reshaping the look of the city.
Okay, now I see why she isn't a mage of the castle.
Damn it, girl, you went too far again. Now customers are going to have to take a hike to get to my place, Sal angrily complained.
At least you can easily find the place, Sal.
That's it, Eve. You're fired.
No, I need this job. It's okay, Eve. Was it?
Azulle smiles.
We've been looking for a magic user for a while, so you're welcome to try and join us as well. Me? Join the prince's party? Would I get paid? Well, I guess we would have loot from battles and... I'll join. At least, no more part-time jobs to pay off all the debts the master left in this town.
The mage, Eve, began to weep. Azulle smiles as her phone chimes.
Wow, according to this, you're one heck of a mage, too. You're adept at all forms of offensive spells? It'd be great to have someone who has more diverse magic than Gil around. Stop making me blush. I'm not that great at all.
Suddenly a hand placed on the two girls from the flashy swordsman. There now, to fight along with two lovely ladies. Don't worry, girls. I will be honored to be your sword.
Oh, you're still around.
Azulle deadpan responds, causing a charming swordsman to diminish in his charms. But it halts when the beautiful woman walks up and wraps her arms around him.
Oh, don't let her bother you. I just know you'll be an amazing great swordsman.
Ah, another beauty. Kawa, quit playing with the guy's ego and drop the disguise. The woman pouts and Kawa removes the mask, causing the swordsman to grow depressed.
Aw, no fair, Zell. How did you even tell it was me?
Azulle,
Guess I'm getting better. Guess I'm just getting better at picking, or I don't know why it says Azulle here. Guess I'm just getting better at picking you out in the crowd when you aren't hiding. But thanks for finding this guy. We've got a mage too, join too. Can't believe it was some kid. Am I slipping on my charms? No problem, Zell. But don't you think it's past time for you to get back? Meryl won't be happy if you shirk your duties, even if Gil sent you on his mission. Crap. Is it that late already? You two show up at the castle tomorrow morning, and we'll have a party meeting.
Azulle leans in and dashes off as the day fades to evening. Just outside the castle in the bath house, Azulle is scrubbing the floors with Francoise at her side, sliding about, leaving a soapy trail.
So you finally found 2 more members to join. Yeah, and just in time. With Gil getting antsy to head out on a proper dungeon next week. We need to test our skills and get our training now that Dad is finally letting us leave the castle. But we can't start our journey to kick that jerk Isei's ass. Of course, you and Noir are joining me on the venture, right? Someone has to look after the careless adult like yourself. Still don't think it would be good to have someone who's better at healing magic than you. Yeah, I guess so. It's not like someone can just drop in our laps. We will have to find someone on our journey. Azulle stops scrubbing and wipes her head. Well, this is the last of my chores. Now for a much-deserved bath. Azulle begins to strip her clothes, but stops midway and turns to look. Something the matter? Yeah, we aren't alone.
Azulle throws her broom, and a dark spot on the wall suddenly forms a welt, and the two figures crash into the bath.
What have I told you about you peeping?
There, floating in the water, is an older, slightly fatter Gil, along with Noir.
Seriously, Gil, peeping is one thing, but I'm your sister, you sick jerk. Hey, that gives you no right. I'm the kingdom's future ruler. Hitting me is just because I want to see some boobs. There's no reason for you to hit me. Besides, who would want to see some ugly stick like you? I said get out.
Azulle slams the two, smashing them through the ceiling and sending them crashing outside the bathhouse. Somewhere near where the prince in the black slime lands, a guard gathers them and takes them back to see Lady Eris.
A bit harsh, don't you think? The jerk needs to learn. He wants to be a hero, but when it comes down to it, he's still the same perverted jerk as he always was.
Francoise begins to laugh as she slips into the bath.
I swear, between Gil, Noir, and now that swordsman today, I'm
tired of dealing with men looting me. You sure have changed, Ito. Back on Earth, you wouldn't be too far off for you to be just like them. I was nothing like them. If you say so. But while your body has grown stronger over the past 10 years, I think you may have grown a bit soft in some areas. Zol continues to strip. Yeah, these freaking boobs are a pain. Damn, how I wish this cursed corset covered them too. Hurts like hell when Master hits me there. Wasn't what I meant, Ito, and you know it. Yeah, whatever, Ryoko. Maybe I'm just getting used to the different life. It would almost be peaceful one if I could, like, if it were just the whole God's sick games with everyone. Azul joins with her slimy friend in the water. You mentioned that before, but the only God you talk about to me was that Isekai. Are there other gods? Maybe. I mean, there is one, but she isn't really reliable. I mean, she was supposed to show up here with me, but it's been 16 years, and where is she? It's not like she'll just come falling out of the... Suddenly a dark figure comes crashing down on Azul in the water. What the hell did it just hit and tell you? Gil, Azul looks down to see a strange yet somehow familiar face of the goddess Ori. Man, that stings. It's been a long time since I've felt what it's like to have a living form. Maybe my choice on endurance stats weren't good enough. Gah! I've made a grievous mistake. Maybe I could go back and figure a better configuration and... Ori, you brainless dolt! Where have you been? Azul shouts. Oh, hi-ho, Mr. Ito. My, you have changed ever since we last talked yesterday. I didn't expect you to have such a lovely, cute body either. That was 10 years ago, Ori. What have you been doing all this time? Well, it's been that long. I knew I had a hard time figuring things out, but was it really 10 years since the last I sent you here? No, it's been 16. You took 6 to get me that damn tablet. Well, I guess that could be right. Oh well, then I have just one question, Mr. Ito. Why are you naked? Learn to read the room, you idiot. And so, after 16 years, the reincarnated mobster, into the form of a maid girl and the indecisive goddess, have reunited to begin their great journey together. Alright, that was chapter 10. I know it's a bit rough. We have one more chapter to go through. I kind of wanted to do all 3 of these chapters together because they kind of fit together, setting up what is going to be where the story currently is. We will eventually come back to this story when I get some more chapters written. I do plan on releasing a few more chapters this year. Basically, we are going to be going into a story that is, while the last story was the battle against envy, of course, we have you'll learn of the 7 deadly sins in chapter 12, plus the 4 horsemen also are members of the general's army. So you will see all of them play out in chapter 12, where we actually get a view of the demon army and a view of what they're like. They're not exactly the most unusual. But we're going to be going to chapter 11, Adventure Forth. This is going to be the final chapter of the evening, and it is the chapter where they officially leave off on a journey, on their journey to fight the Demon Lord. So we're going to be getting on to that. Let me get to that chapter on the screen here. So I was a tough lady killer mobster, but now I'm klutzy demon maid girl, and I will take down a demon lord. Chapter 11, adventure forth. Azulle wakes in the middle of the night to find a foot kicking her in the face. Somehow, though Francoise managed to completely avoid the kicks, she sleeps in her usual spot on Azulle's face. It was late when the two came back inside the castle with the goddess Ori. Without much of an opinion, she invited Ori to the chance to sleep with her, since her own bed was quite spacious. Gone are the days of sleeping in a corner of her brother's room. Azulle and forth that matter, her mother were given rooms in the former queen claimed her own. Trying to not give her mother worry, Azulle even took the very room the queen tortured her in. It had since been redecorated, albeit in a not completely by Azulle's choice of decoration, but her father insisted her room have a bit more feminine quality. But one thing she did want was a bed she thought she could get lost in. But a night with Ori rolling about proved that even the largest of beds were no match for a friend with restless legs. She knew she now slept. She knew sleep wouldn't. Excuse me. Yes, she knew sleep. Okay, she knew sleep wouldn't come easily unless she did something. This was a problem, as while she was being treated more like the daughter of a king, as she was still one of the maids of the castle, and despite the fact that she would have duties to deal with her and her brother's adventuring party, she still had to schedule at least till the group left the castle of tasks to do. Even after, she would still be expected to take care of many of the tasks the party would need in their adventure. Even when they traveled, tasks of cooking and seeing to the needs of the maintenance of equipment, setting and taking down camp, all were expectations of her title, some of her training with Lady Merrill, and all of this was bringing in something that Hideo Ito never really recalled dealing with: anxiety for the day to come. Sure, his 16 years being raised in this world as Azulle, he learned all manner of things he never thought he had or would even dream of doing. But now, dealing with Ori throwing out violent kicks in her sleep, and Francoise laying about across Azulle's eyes, she thinks of somehow similar her world is to that of her past life, taking orders from those seated above him in power, giving out the world to beat down, rob, shake down, and kill those who get in his way. Only now, her and her targets are monsters, strongholds of demon kingdoms, looting what treasures they can find along the way. It was all still just one giant turf war. Reluctantly, Azulle decided to push out of her bed and leave it at least one turf war to be fought without her in it. She got up and walked out into the hall. "Can't sleep, can you?" Azulle is shocked, but turns to see her mother sitting in a chair, looking out the hallway window. "Don't get it. I've been in fights before, even fought some rough battles, but the thought of leaving the castle, of leaving this home, kind of scares me." "You know how I feel, Azu. I really wish you took this guy Issei's deal and just lived a peaceful life. Not this again. No, I know that isn't the answer, but as your mother, I will always worry about you in this world. Fighting monsters and demons. You may have difficulty sleeping tonight, but you can imagine how many nights your father and I will have from the moment you and Gil leave, to lose sleep worrying about you two. To be safe, it's a parent's job to worry. It's a hero's job to fight those worries and to see through so that they can return the ease, the fear, and bring back the nights that all can sleep well. It's a great burden you two have on your shoulders. I will, Mom. Azul smiles and goes to sit down at her mom's side, leaning her head on her mother's lap as she yawns. You know, you should be asleep in your bed. I could say the same to you, but for now, I think this is a fine place to rest till morning. Time passes and morning comes, and for the would-be hero Gil, he's having a trouble in making choices that has frustrated. I don't see why I can't. Seriously, for one, you aren't the one carrying your stuff. I have to. But there's no freaking way I'm dragging your bed across the world. I got you a great set of camping gear. But I like my bed. It's comfortable. Over that hard thing you got me, I've sat down on church pews that are softer. Well, excuse me, your royal highness, but the store is all out of soft, cushioned, portable beds, which is why you are to take my bed. A knock on the door disrupts the two siblings from their latest argument, and standing there at the door was the face of their father, the king. Excuse me, Gil, Azul. I hope I'm not disturbing anything important. I just felt that it would be best to tell you two, now that you're both venturing out, as to what threats you will face early in your journey. It appears several threats have arisen, even just outside our own city's borders. I know you two have familiarized yourselves to your teammates, but our kingdom's forces can only hold back the attacks we see coming from the Demon Lord's forces. That is what I want to say. But I have a different reason to ask you two. As your father, please, both of you, when you're heading out, don't be afraid to send a message and ask me to send what help I can. Seriously, you two, Dad? The king looks puzzled, but looks on at Azul's face, already tired from the lack of sleep from the night before. I guess if you want to help, then you can get our spoiled hero some pointers on traveling light. And who keeps adding mouths to feed, huh? Ori helps us out with healing magic, which we sorely need if we fight. The waitress Maid Girl offers us offensive magic, and while that pretty boy swordsman is a problem, he at least is trained and skilled fighter, able to grant you more of a flexible range to attack as best you see fit. It's as Master taught me to create a strong support party. Gil, while I'm sure you worry about things, your sister, I feel, has done a fine job collecting people who will aid you on your quest. See? And Azul, you need to understand that Gil has a point in trust. Your team will struggle till you all can learn how to best work with each other. Yes, Father, the siblings state in unison. Very good. Now, if you two, before the king can finish his talk with his children, suddenly out of thin air, the mage Eve comes flashing in and crashing down on the king. A magical assassin, Gil shouts. Guards, come! Azul clamps her mouth shut. She's our party's mage. Gah! I landed on someone, Eve shouts. Yes, and if you would kindly get off, please, the king groans. I'm sorry. I landed on the king. I'm so sorry, your highness. Please, it was an accident. I'll do anything not to be executed, the Queen Eve shouts as she gets off the king. Azul, my dear, fetch your mother. I think my back is out again, the king states, groaning on the floor. What kind of mage are you, bursting into the castle, let alone my room, so brazenly? Gil berates the mage as the king looks up from his vertical position. You look familiar. Tell me, girl, have we met before?
Yes, your highness. My master sent me, when I was 9, to tell you about my master's premonition, about the birth of the hero.
Ah, yes, Lady Keel. Damn woman was crazier than a loon. And quite a collector of debt, I heard. Eve nervously whimpers at the mention of the master's debt.
Yes, as it turns out, my master was cursed with debt. But in her age, she learned a way to, distribute the debt by signing it over to me before she left on her journey.
The king begins to chuckle, but stops as pain forces him to halt. So, she likes to spread her misfortune. I'm sorry for your burden. But you are a mage, and my daughter has trusted you in joining the party. So let's leave today's incident to a debt to be paid with your service to my children, okay?
Are you sure, your highness?
If you said so, then it's so. But I still need to see you do better, Gil demands, and Eve shrieks in a squeal again.
Yes, your highness. I will work hard to be of service to you and the rest of the party.
While Gil and Eve get to know each other, Azulle arrives at her mother's section of the castle.
Mom, Dad hurt his back again. Oh dear, what did he do now? I swear his back is so messed up because of how that demon woman treated him. If your party doesn't get to her, I swear I'll kill her. Hand me my bag, will you?
Azulle reaches for the makeshift dex and pulls her mother's doctor's bag, placing it on her chair.
Where is he? Gil's room. Look, I have to get Ori and the slimes.
Eris stops her push forward and sighs.
Yes. Make sure to take everything you have set for you. And I will see you in the courtyard later.
Eris resumes her push forward, only halting enough to get the guard to help push her forward. While Azulle couldn't see her mother's face, she could tell or could hear the way her mother talked to the guard that she was upset and what the day would bring forth. But they both knew that they had to push on, and in Azulle's case, pushing on meant getting her knight's former attacker to get ready. An issue from the moment she walked in could be a frustrating one.
Ori, it's time to go. Seriously, you don't have much. Why are you taking forever to get ready? The armor or the traveler's clothing?
She can't hear you. It's like she's in her own world, Noir states in a dark corner. Then there's the other one, also in her own world. Azulle looks to the one Noir was noting as Francoise, who's still content on sleeping.
I don't get it. Was she always sleeping like this back on Earth? No, actually, she worked most of the time. I guess in this life she's making up for the lost sleep, but doesn't matter. I have a carrier bag for you both. Look, Ito, I'm not going to be cramped up with Franny during the journey. Hell, I don't even know why I gotta go. 1, you won't be with Francoise. Gil wants to carry you. Guess he thinks your dark presence ability will help him hide or something. And 2, because if you want to get back on Earth to that broken family of yours, then it would be better if you come along, Noir. As for our other problem, Azulle swiped the traveler's clothes. Wear the armor. We can't have the healer getting hurt, Ori. Well, you see, if I wear the armor, I will sweat. And if I sweat, I will chafe from the armor rubbing my skin. And if I chafe, my skin will break and expose me to all manner of diseases. And when you gave me this armor, I was puzzled with my class choice. And all. Wait, you think I'm a healer? I mean, you're a goddess. And from what the emo slime over there tells me, goddesses would be best healers, holy magic and stuff. I mean, I have some healing, and I haven't stepped in one church or altar, well, anything holy since I got here, so I assume. Wait, what class are you? Well, there were so many to choose from. All had different abilities and advantages. I couldn't choose which one stood out the most. But then I saw it, the class that would make it so I didn't have to choose because it had a little bit of everything. So nice and perfect. I even got to choose a subclass to it. A user of mini, master of none, yawns Francoise. Bards suck. Bard? You're a bard? Wasn't that the title the Shakespeare guy had? So, the goddess girlfriend of yours is a bard. Man, it'll suck to be in that party, Francoise grumbles, as Noir pops down from his perch to slam into her. You and I are in that party, you dumbass. Wait, how do you know what classes are, Fran? It's standard RPG stuff. Played a few games between cases. You kept dropping off in my clinic. A girl had something to do with her free time. A girl has to have something to do with her free time. Lord knows you didn't take me anywhere. Well, actually, like I said, I have a subclass. I'm not just a bard. I'm an idol. So, she's what? Going to sing the enemies and make them die? I thought it would help liven up the spirits of the party as well. Azulle looks disappointed. Well, if she has a little bit of everything, then she could at least have healing magic. No more than you have, Francois says as she pushes off Noir and slides towards a jar of mayo. All I can say is, it's going to be interesting to watch. Fine then, let's get a move on. We will have to deal with our healing problem on the road, Azulle states, pulling Ori's green dress over her head. By midday, the current group gathers together, minus the flashy swordsman, at the courtyard. Azulle is dragging the two heavy saddlebags, placing them on the few Nevim, a giant beast that is horse-like bird. Eve is following through with a bag of her own, while Kawa is fighting with the creature that is looking at the ninja as a possible meal. Do we really need to take this thing? Kawa complains. We don't want to be weighed down by what we will need to survive. The Navim will be strong enough to hold onto our supplies in the cart. Besides, it's a sweet creature, Azulle states, as the beast pecks at Kawa a bit, pulling at the mask that Kawa is wearing. Well, your curse doesn't make you attractive to these things. Plus, you have those two coming along. Kawa looks at their feet where Francoise and Noir are rumbling up his legs. Or up their legs. Shouldn't be their legs. Sorry. Ah, this kid is amazing, Noir says, rubbing up and down on Kawa's legs. I bet they taste good too, Francoise purrs. Hey, you two, no eating our team members. I packed food for you, Fran. And as for you, Noir, I'm sure we can find you garbage along the way. You better, Edo slut. Hey, don't call me that, you filthy trash eater. You can understand the slimes? Eve looks puzzled. My sister's a freak. So, of course she can. But, Noir seems to hate her for some reason. It stays around, and it's got a great skill to create a camouflage of darkness about it. It's not like it's a useless white slime as the white slime. Can I kill your brother too, Hito?
Not now, Fran. Later. Azul looks, grabbing Ori, who is beginning to wander off. I swear, Ori, are you going to be like this during the whole venture? But humans make such amazing buildings. What is that light at the top of the castle? A holy beacon. While we're at it, don't forget that if people ask, you're human, too. This world's races don't get along well, and the last thing we need is them hearing you proclaim your divine origins, okay? Yes, yes, Mr. Ito. And that, do I look like a mister here? Call me Azul, Azu, or Zell. But those little slime friends of yours, others don't understand them. And they were people I knew from before I got here. Okay, Miss Azul. Great. Now all that is left is finding out where that damn pretty boy is. What was his name again? Suddenly, thousands of flower petals flow from the sky, coning out from a nearby wall where the shadow figure of a stylish man stands. Ah, so my comrades have gathered, and here I thought only two lovely beauties would be at my side, but also a lovely woman who also joins. The adventure shall be a great one. I am the great swordman Cabbage, Grinrot. I will be honored to protect such beauties. The two guards gather near to the bottom of the wall and shout at the flashy swordsman to come down, and that the part of the wall is unsafe. But Cabbage ignores them, dashing to a point where he can get the nearest to the gathering party, and leaping off, doing a somersault, and landing in a cool way. But Azul couldn't help but notice the fool shiver in pain from the landing. Tell me, Zell, is that another of the strange members you collected? Sadly, yes. Hey, what was it again? Calvin? Coolidge? Cabin? Francois asked. Oh, well, Carlo, you didn't happen to break your legs just now, did you? Cabbage laughs off. Absolutely. But for such a beauty as you, I will break 1,000 of my legs. You only have two, Azul seriously replies. Fine. I'll get Mom and her magic. Should at least help out for now. Why not have our healer do it, Zell? Azul stops in her moments, turning to look at her brother. Yeah, our healer. About that. This lady is our healer. The book says we need a healer. So you did get her to join to do just that, right? Ori is less a healer than she is sort of entertainment? Entertainment? Wait, is she a bard? Eve questions. Why do we need a bard over healer? I can't explain. I'm sorry, but Ori will help, I swear. I certainly can. I have all sorts of skills and abilities. I can even sing songs and Azul clasps Ori's mouth. Okay, Ori, I think they get it. I promise, brother. I'll work hard to find a healer on our travels, and Ori will help me with the work around the camp. Another servant. I guess it can't hurt. Fine. Then the bard can come along. Azul and Ori breathe after. Her brother accepts that another servant would mean less hard work that he will have to do. So, Hero Prince, it will be the two of us and the girls then, Cabbage says, hobbling himself and his supplies to the cart. Here, kid, put my bag on the cart, will you? Cabbage hands his bag to Kawa, who almost collapses under the weight. Hey, I'm going too, Kawa states. Surely not. A child like you should wait and leave the adventures to the grown-ups. Kawa gets angry and tears at the outfit to change form to a thinly dressed, sexy woman. You think I'm a child now, big boy? Cabbage looks in shock, and a bit of blood spurts out of his nose and his and Gil's noses. Okay. Kawa, stop that. You shouldn't tease the perverts of the party. Azulle smacks Kawa on the back of the head, now scantily clad form. You may cause them to confusion before we get going. Tell me, Prince, is that a child, or such a godly vision as he is now? I wish I knew, swordsman. Best not to venture down that lane, I suggest. Their group begins to laugh and talk about familiarizing themselves with one another, till the second of the three suns hit the high point of the sky. By then, several of the staff, the king, and heiress have all made their way out to see the group off. Azulle looked on at Lady Meryl and the strange man in the bear costume that is Grell. Even the slimes from the bathhouse have come out from their makeshift places. Azulle, make sure you keep an eye out for the prince, and try not to be a burden on the party, Lady Meryl says, slightly tearing up. I won't, Lady Meryl. Listen well, Prince. You may have passed my lessons, but there's still more to learn that you will only find on your journey. And Maid Girl, Vendel is out there. I'm sure you haven't seen the last of her or Claire. Heck, I doubt you will never not run into that elven pervert. They may have left on their own ventures, but you two will be reunited one day. Thank you, Master. Yeah, thank you, Grell. Kawa is approached by his master, who is now using a cane to help him walk. Don't forget to kill as many of the royals as you can, Kawa, for me. Of course, Master. I won't forget our lessons. Hey, you kids. Hey, you kids. Hey, your kids. Hey, your kids. Hey, you're this kid's master. Okay. Hey, you're this kid's master. Do you know what they are? Confused Cabbage asked, back of the cart, only to be hit back of the head by Eris. I told you not to move. I swear, if your foot falls off, it will be on your head, not my daughter's. Got it, sword boy? Daughter? So you're the mother of which of these heavenly beauties? Me, you dolt. Carrot, Azulle says. It's Cabbage, my succulent servant. An enraged king that is being held up by the guards tries to move out, but the guards grip, shouting, Change your plans, Azulle. You're not going with such a lewd man. I won't have my baby girl away near such a fancy swordsman. Eris rolls over to the king and smacks him. That warning of not moving goes for you too, Handel. I swear, I'm only allowed you out of bed to see them off, when you promised you wouldn't move to make your injuries worse. Eris wipes tears out of her face while it turns away from the group. The king sighs at the orders, then Eris is given him. Very well. I will make this quick then. 17 years ago, we were guided that a great hero would come from this castle. And today I look on at my two beautiful children as they venture off on their own following the path of destiny. This world has lived for far too long in fear of the demon lord and their forces. 10 years ago, my children even faced one of those forces here, and they proved that they could see it through. Now they venture forth with old friends and new, out to find a way to bring peace to this world. Let their venture help them grow strong and wise, and return here to their home safely. Guilford? Yes, Father. Be strong, my boy. Your travels will cause you to face the monster that disguised as your mother. I know what must be done. Know what you must be done. You are wise to see things through. Gil begins to choke up. and fights off his tears. Thank you, Father. Azulle, the king says, gritting his teeth from tears himself. Yes, Father. Though you have no right to the crown, never forget you are born of this kingdom. Your blood is that of mine. You are my little princess. But you are strong and fast. Look after your brother well, and I fear he is not as well adapted at living on the outside of the walls as you. Remember, we are family, and your family will be at your side and waiting here as well for your safe return. And don't let that swordman touch you. I want you to kick his ass if he tries anything. Got it? Azul smiles with tears. Yes, sir. Okay. Team, move out, Gil shouts as the group follows along the cart, pulling the supplies. The swordsman smile and swordsman and slimes. As the group begins to walk, Eve is the first to come up with a more important question. Okay, where are we going? The group begins to talk over one another, to the point that no one can make out who is saying what suggestion. That ends the chapter 11. We will return eventually to the story as they venture off. The next chapter will actually be a look at the demon world, as I said. A couple of things to note of this chapter. Eve was and still is a creation of one of our Patreon fans and supporters. She was added to the story because they requested it. So Eve has a curse, as all the main characters will have curses, with the exception of Ori, who kind of already has a curse. Each character that has power has a curse. Eve's curse is overpowered. Basically, any of her spells that she uses are far more powerful than they should be, but she can't control how powerful they are. So in the case of this chapter, she teleported on the king unintentionally. She was tending to teleport into the castle, not on the king. Cabbage's curse is to forgetful name. No one can remember his actual name. They all know him as a flashy, pretty boy swordsman that attracts a lot of women, and he's flashy and all that way, but no one can remember his actual name. Of course, Azulle's is clumsiness. That's where the title of Clumsy Maid is. So she has clumsiness. She falls and whatnot. Kawa, who is supposed to be genderless. We never know their proper gender because they constantly change forms. Kawa has a curse to be for monsters to be attracted to him. So whenever monsters attack, they're going to go after Kawa for most general sense. Gil's curse, I will not go into. It is part of the story, and I have not revealed it. But Gil has a curse as well. Ori's technical curse is her forgetfulness. She's not really forgetful. She's basically overly to the point where she can't make decisions. She is the undecisive goddess, is her proper title. She takes forever to make a decision, and because of that, it's an awkward sense there. The slimes also technically have curses, but they don't apply until later on. With the exception, kind of, Francoise is kind of shown through some of the things. We didn't really see it much in this chapter or the earlier chapter. Francoise, aka Ryoko from Earth, she has the curse to swear. She constantly will swear. She has basically a sailor's mouth. Noir has an interesting curse that I am not going to go into because it's also a story element and it's not one I've revealed yet. I've kind of revealed Gil's a little bit, but I haven't revealed it either properly as to what is in play with that curse. But they are going off to, and they're going to be fighting. It was polls each time I write these stories. I do a polling as to what people want in the next chapter. Well, this story arc, which they're going into, this next sort of general story arc, is their battle against the General Lust, um, which is, I feel, an unusual take, but we go into a wonderful town story, and we will get to that another day. Until then, I do want to thank you all for joining in on the story. We always try to do some fun little stories here. If you have a story that you would like to request to be added, please add it in the comments. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. We do these by request. Sometimes the stories are original. Sometimes we may even do some, if you want some non original stories. We've done the first chapters of Kodacha, or not Kodacha, Konosuba. We've done the first chapter of Konosuba. We've also done the full reading of Christmas Carol for Christmas. Next week, we are going to return to 11 Kingdoms. We did one a while back, and we're finally going to get to chapter 4, to where we really see the princess in that series. That is a completed story, and we will be releasing that novel some point later. Additionally, this week we will be doing a review that'll be coming out on Saturday. We've done the recording today. We've gotten that all taken care of. The review is going to be what is it? She professed herself to be a pupil of a wise man. So we'll be doing that review. That should come out about Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be back. We're going to be doing Spider-Man tomorrow for our gaming stream. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. And have